When Katt Williams entered the courtroom, no one laughed. The man famous for wild jokes and internet rants was now speaking under oath. And what he said made everyone in the industry nervous. For a long time, Katt had been calling out big names: Jay-Z, Tyler Perry, Kevin Hart, Steve Harvey, T.D. Jakes, Ricky Smiley.
People thought he was just being crazy. But now, those same names are showing up in legal files connected to the Diddy case. Katt confirmed it all in court about the parties, the secret agreements, the hidden cameras, and how people's careers were made or broken by one man. He didn't only name Diddy. He revealed a whole network of famous people who did whatever it took to succeed. This wasn't a comedy show.
It was a serious warning because Katt didn't just talk, he brought proof. And the celebrities he exposed, they might never recover, someone said. At first, the court wasn't sure what to make of his words. Journalists whispered to each other. Social media exploded. But Katt stood there in a suit, serious and calm, not as a comedian, but as a government witness. No fans, no crowd, just a folder in his hand and a cold, serious look. When he sat and raised his hand to swear in, the room went silent. Then, in the same voice that used to fill theaters with laughter, he started. Let me say this once, with no jokes. I warned you long ago, and you laughed. He told the court that nothing he was about to say was new. He had been saying these things for more than 10 years. But people ignored him because he wrapped the truth inside comedy. When you make people laugh, he said, they stop paying attention.
But I wasn't only telling jokes. I was slipping in the truth with the jokes. Katt said he started to see a pattern years ago. The same celebrities were invited to the same private events. They would disappear for a bit, then suddenly return with movie deals, awards, or big contracts. One day, a guy's career is struggling. Then a few months after one party, he's the lead in a big movie. Then Katt shared his first big truth. You want to know what they all had in common? He asked. They were all close to the same person, Sean Diddy Combs. The court paid close attention. Katt said Diddy wasn't just a big name in music. He was the gatekeeper to a darker side of Hollywood. This ain't about music anymore, Katt said. It's about power. Who you know, what you'll do, and what you'll keep secret. Then he said something chilling. I didn't come here because I wanted to. I came because if I don't speak now, I might be the next one gone.
The courtroom realized this wouldn't be a normal testimony. It was about to get wild, and the people named were in deep trouble. Katt didn't hesitate when asked to give names. You want names? He said. I got names. He started listing them. Jay-Z, Tyler Perry, Kevin Hart, Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, Ludacris, LeBron James, T.D. Jakes, Ashton Kutcher, Justin Bieber. Each name shocked the room. These weren't random gossip subjects. They were top stars in the entertainment world. Katt said all of them had gone to events and meetings hosted or arranged by Diddy. But those gatherings weren't just parties. They were more like tests. He said the parties were used to gain power over people. Phones were taken away. People had to sign papers promising not to talk. Cameras were hidden, but still recording. You think it's just chance that all these people say the same things and protect the same folks? He asked. Nope. They know they're being watched, or even recorded.
Katt claimed Diddy kept dirt on everyone. He collected videos, photos, emails, and used it as a safety net. He doesn't just wait for blackmail. He makes it, Katt said. People walk in clean, but leave with something stuck to them that they can't wash off. Then Katt pointed out the pattern. Actors suddenly getting big movie roles. Comedians going on huge tours without any warm-up. Singers on the radio with no promotion, but full support from Diddy-linked stations. You think just being talented gets you there? Please, half those names wouldn't even sell out a high school gym without the system backing them. He ended that section with this. I'm not saying everyone at those parties did something bad. I'm saying they all knew what was going on, and none of them spoke up. That makes them guilty too. If there was one name that clearly made people in the courtroom uneasy, it was Tyler Perry. And Katt noticed it.
He looked Diddy in the eyes, then turned to the jury and said, let's talk about the media. He made it clear, this isn't about gender or acting. This is about signs, rituals, and power. You think someone just builds a $1 billion studio by wearing a wig and making church jokes? No, that was a deal. Katt said Tyler Perry didn't just become successful on his own. He said Perry's early plays, his first studio deals, Even his first movie premieres were helped quietly by Diddy's people. He didn't just succeed, he was guided there. Katt claimed early screenings for Diary of a Matte Black Woman and Medea's Family Reunion were managed behind the scenes by Diddy's team. That wasn't random, it was organized. They gave Tyler a weigh-in, and in return, he had to be loyal. Then, Katt dropped another surprise. Tyler told his male actors not to hang out with me. Wanna know why? Because I saw him at one of those parties. He was enjoying himself.
Katt said, once Tyler was fully accepted by Hollywood, he started staying away from anyone who might reveal the truth. He didn't want people asking who helped him succeed, because then they'd wonder why. Katt also brought up actors who changed a lot after working with Perry. He named Lamon Rucker and Lance Gross. Look at them before. Look at what happened after. Then Katt said the line that would soon go viral. Every year there's a new Medea. Every year a new wig. And every year a new paycheck. But not once, not even once, has he used his fame to speak about what really happens behind closed doors. He paused, then said, "That's not art. That's following orders." Katt didn't hold back when Kevin Hart's name came up. He looked straight at the jury and said, "Let's talk about the favorite one." He said Kevin Hart didn't rise to fame just by working hard and being funny. You think Kevin went from BET Comic View to billion-dollar movies by chance?
You think it's normal to go from failed TV shows to filling stadiums in under 5 years? He leaned forward. No, that's what happens when you say yes. That's what happens when you accept the deal. Katt spoke about the line that got a lot of attention online. How he turned down $50 million to keep his self-respect. He explained it wasn't just a joke. That was me telling the world Kevin agreed to something I wouldn't. Something real. Something nobody talks about unless they whisper. Katt said Kevin's career took off after working with certain producers linked to Diddy's business group. Check the timeline. Look at the films, the Netflix deals, the partnerships. There's always some connection to Diddy's team in those contracts. He also said Kevin was seen at more than one private Diddy event, including one in Miami in 2013. That party, Katt said, had a gold-themed room just like the one Cassie Ventura described in her own case. But then came a big twist.
Katt claimed Kevin wasn't just a guest, he was a helper. He was the friendly face, the one who made new people feel safe. That's why he was always there but never caught on camera. Katt said when he refused a similar offer, everything changed. His shows got cancelled, his deals fell through. Meanwhile, Kevin got approved for movies like Ride Along, Night School and Jumanji. You don't get 3 major movies in a row unless someone powerful says yes. He ended that part with a serious line. They say Kevin Hart is funny, but that laugh came at a cost, and I wasn't willing to pay it. Next, Katt turned his focus to 2 more big names. He said these men helped Diddy rise, and their careers were used to make the system behind the scenes seem normal. He started with Ricky Smiley. Ever wonder how Ricky went from prank calls to movies and radio shows across the country? It wasn't because of his jokes. It was because of the dress.
Katt said Ricky's big break in TV and movies only came after he went to a series of private parties in Atlanta, run by Diddy's Southern team. These weren't open events. You had to be chosen, picked for being useful, quiet, and willing to follow rules. Then Katt dropped a big one. I added a rule in my contract. I won't work with Ricky again unless he's wearing a dress. Why? Because that's when he's most believable. Katt wanted people to see how Hollywood rewards people for giving in. He claimed Ricky's first church character in a wig was part of the plan, to show the public that giving in gets rewarded. You want that money? You know what to do. And he did it. Then came Steve Harvey. Katt called him the king of following orders. He said Steve got to the top, not just by playing the media game, but by staying silent. He saw what Diddy was doing, Katt said.
And instead of speaking up, he brought his own daughter to have dinner with him. Katt mentioned Lori Harvey's well-known relationship with Diddy, and how Steve stood next to him smiling, even though Lori had dated Diddy's son Justin before. What kind of father does that? Katt asked. One who's in too deep. He also said Steve stole his ideas, including a show concept Katt had written back in the early 2000s. The Steve Harvey Show? That was my idea. They changed the name, changed the city, and gave it to the guy who said yes. Katt didn't hold back. He said Steve became famous hosting shows, writing books, and playing preacher. But when it came time to speak the truth, he stayed silent. And that silence, it cost something big. The room went still when Katt said the next name, T.D. Jakes. He didn't joke. He didn't smile. He said it like loading a bullet into a gun. "Let me tell you how this really works," Katt began.
When the scandals start to get public, when people start asking questions, the industry doesn't run away. It acts like it prays. Or at least it pretends. Katt accused Diddy's PR team of using the church as a mask, not a place of faith. You'll think T.D. Jakes preaching at Diddy-sponsored gospel events was about God? No, it was about cleaning up his image. Katt said T.D. Jakes gave Diddy a holy look to cover up dark secrets. They had concerts with velvet ropes, gold-plated communion tables, and VIP seats at gospel shows. Really? He asked. He said T.D. Jakes told gospel singers to stay silent about what they saw at Diddy's crossover events. They were warned. Speaking out could hurt the church's image. But what about the victims? Then came the claim that made headlines. T.D. Jakes didn't just pray for Diddy. He helped hide the mess. Katt said church donations, million-dollar checks, and public charity work were all part of the cover-up.
And if a spiritual leader started asking too many questions, they got pushed aside. They didn't get TV time, they didn't get book deals. Katt even said Jakes knew about a sex scandal involving one of Diddy's assistants, but told people to handle it privately. "That's not what a pastor does," Katt said. "That's what a fixer does." Then he ended with a hard truth. There's nothing wrong with God, but there's a whole lot wrong with people pretending to speak for him. If you use faith to hide sins, you're not a prophet. You're just a pimp in the pulpit. Katt Williams then looked straight at the jury, then at the prosecutors, and calmly said, "You want to know why nobody talks? Because everyone knows they're being watched." He explained that for years, people had whispered about the things that went on at Diddy's secret parties. The candles, the gold-themed rooms, the stars who entered one way and came out changed.
But the real secret wasn't just what happened, it was how it was all recorded. Katt said insiders told him that high-tech hidden cameras were built into the houses and hotels used for these private events. These weren't just doorbell cameras, he said. These were pinhole lenses inside furniture, fake ceiling tiles with lenses. And everything got backed up to private servers that didn't even belong to Diddy. They belonged to his people. According to Katt, it wasn't just about safety, it was about power. You step into one of those rooms and mess around, and now Diddy's got something on you. It doesn't matter if you're rich, famous, straight, gay, cheating, he's got the proof. And once he has it, you either stay quiet or your career is over. Katt said many top celebrities had told him things in private. Not only about what they saw, but about the footage they believed existed.
One brother told me, if they ever show what they have on me, I'll lose everything. My family would never speak to me again. Katt didn't say who it was, but he made it clear the fear was real. He brought up a quote from Ashton Kutcher. What happens at a Diddy party stays at a Diddy party. Then Katt asked the courtroom, why do you think they say that? Because they know exactly what happens and that it's being filmed. He connected these secret recordings to the silence of many celebrities. Stars who used to hint about dark secrets suddenly stopped, changed careers, or started charity work. Katt said blackmail wasn't a theory, it was a system. And those videos weren't just lying around, they were organized, saved, and used as weapons. He paused and said, this ain't just about wild parties or sex tapes, this is about control. He built a digital trap. And anyone who ever let their guard down at those parties, they're probably caught in it.
As the courtroom sat in complete shock, Katt moved on to his next point. Let's talk about the ones who actually tried to speak up and what happened to them. He started by naming Dave Chappelle, the comedian who famously walked away from $50 million. People called him crazy, said he ran off to Africa. But if you really watched his comedy specials, he was trying to warn you. He once said, the worst thing you can call someone is crazy. It's dismissive. And that's exactly what they did to him, because he wouldn't play along. Then Katt mentioned Martin Lawrence. Remember when he was out on the street, waving a gun, screaming, they're trying to kill me? That wasn't just a breakdown. That was someone breaking from pressure, trying to tell us something. Katt said these weren't random mental breakdowns. They were the results of trying to escape the system. You can't just walk away. You can't just say no, not after you've seen what they've seen.
He mentioned others like Jaguar Wright and Al B. Shaw, people who were called unstable for speaking about Kim Porter's death or Diddy's parties. It's the same script every time, Katt said. You speak up, they call you a liar. Then they say you're crazy. Then you disappear. Then Katt pointed to himself. You'll remember when they said I was on drugs? Said I was losing my mind? I wasn't high. I was angry because I saw how this system worked and I tried to warn people. But instead of listening, they laughed. He said that after calling out Diddy in past interviews, things got worse. He was audited by the IRS, blacklisted from shows, even followed by cars. 3 black SUVs, no license plates, sat outside my house for weeks, and no one in the media touched the story. Katt said this is why so many stars keep quiet. They've seen what happens when you talk, so they stay quiet, they take the deals, they keep smiling. He ended with a powerful line.
Hollywood doesn't destroy you with violence. It destroys you with silence, with labels, with exile. And I know that, because they tried it on me. As Katt stood up to give his final words, the courtroom wasn't just paying attention. They were holding their breath. He looked at Diddy, then turned toward the jury. You think this is all about parties and gossip? It's not, he said. This is about power and how far people will go to keep it. He said the entertainment world had turned into a silence machine, where loyalty is bought using money, fear, or secret footage. Every time a new artist signs a deal, every time a comedian gets a Netflix special, ask yourself, what did they agree to? Who really gave the green light? He pointed fingers at record labels, producers, fixers, and gatekeepers. It's not just Diddy. He's just the face, the puppet. There's a whole system behind him, and they're all involved. Then Katt shared one final, painful truth.
They asked me to sign something too. They offered me a check that would have changed my life. All I had to do was stay quiet about what I saw, and I said no. He turned to the judge. I'm not suicidal. I don't own a gun. I love my family. And if anything happens to me after this, just know I didn't do it. The courtroom went completely silent. Then Katt continued, softer this time. I made jokes. I tried to warn you through comedy. Because if I said it plainly, they would have taken me out. But now I've said it clearly, in simple words, on the record, and the whole world knows. He looked into the crowd, his voice shaky. To the ones who think they're safe, your time is coming. To the victims who are still scared, I see you. Then he stared right at Diddy. You didn't just hurt people. You built your whole empire by ruining lives. But today, that empire starts to fall.
As Katt stepped down from the witness stand, there was no clapping, no camera flashes, only a deep silence, the kind that comes when the truth finally breaks through the noise. He began walking toward the exit, but then the judge stopped him. Mr. Williams, is there anything else you want to add for the record? Katt paused. He turned around slowly, like he was carrying years of pain that he had just let go of, but still felt. Yeah, he said, now looking at the reporters, the cameras, and even the blank notebook in his stenographer's lap. There's one more thing. He took a deep breath. Then he pointed, not at one person, but at the entire courtroom. You're all waiting for the next big news story. Who's going to be arrested next? But what you're really waiting for is permission. Permission to finally admit that you knew this was real the whole time. You saw the signs. You heard the rumors.
But you didn't want to believe your favorite artist could be involved. You didn't want to believe your favorite preacher played a part. You didn't want to believe your favorite actor sold out just to land a big movie deal. This isn't new. This isn't even about me. It's about a whole generation that's been tricked, fed fake dreams of success while the truth was kept from them. Fame is the carrot they wave in front of us, but behind the scenes, there's a price. And some people pay with their bodies, some with their silence, others with their lives. Katt walked closer to the jury box, lowering his voice. I've watched too many good people vanish. Kim Porter, Andre Harrell, people who wanted to speak but never got the chance. Well, now I have the chance, and I'm speaking. He raised his voice one last time. To anyone who thinks I'm just a comedian, I am, but I'm also a witness. And what I saw will never be forgotten.
He stepped back, nodded once at the judge, then walked out of the courtroom. No cheers, no celebration. Just one thing heavier than all of that, the truth. And with that truth came a warning. Everything that was hidden is now in the open. If you like this video, then subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.